What's going on, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in for today's episode of Chemical Guy's Detail Garage. As you see here, we have this beautiful classic Americana car that the owner must take really good care of, and that's because this is my 1966 Pontiac Catalina, and it's been sitting outside because I've been doing a lot of work to it. I've had this car for about 9 years, and it was my daily driver for a really long time, and then recently it's been giving me some issues, so I took it all apart and I've been putting it back together slowly. But over the time that it's been sitting, the wheels have gotten really dirty because it's been sitting outside, and the chrome finish on my wheels have started to pit, and they're also getting stained from all kinds of water spots and dirt on there. So today I want to show you guys a quick tip on how to clean your wheels and also protect it. So let's get started. Now over here we have 3 products which I'm going to explain what they do and how to use it, and also why they play a key role in keeping your wheels looking their best. On my car I have chrome finished steel wheels, and what we're going to do is start off with Speed Wipe, which is a quick detail spray that enhances gloss, but this also safely removes any kind of brake dust and removes any kind of water spots or dirt that sits on the surface of, it could be on your paint, could be on your wheels or your glass. All you need to do is simply spray it onto the surface. It smells great too. This is also one of my favorite quick detail sprays. And using a clean microfiber towel, we're going to start at the top, just like we do with any kind of cleaning process. You want to start at the top and then work your way down. And the reason for this is so that you're not bringing dirt or the spent product into areas that you've already cleaned. You're simply wiping away gently. I'm not putting a lot of pressure down. I'm just basically letting the cleaner itself pick up anything that's on the surface, and I'm just here to help whip it away or wipe it away. This way it doesn't create any kind of spots or dry onto the surface. You want to make sure that your surface of the wheel is cool to the touch before you start doing any kind of cleaning, whether you're using a quick detail spray or you're doing an in-depth detail, because if it dries on the surface it could stain very quickly, or else it'll just, it won't give you the right effect. But once you're done with that step, you want to make sure it's nice and dry. Very simple, easy to do. And what's great about a quick detail spray is you can do this basically anywhere. Do it in the garage, or like me, I can do this in my apartment. A lot of guys do this on the go when you go to a show. And I've got relatively most of the shine brought back, but you can still see a lot of the water spots that are in there, which is what brings us to our next step, which is going to be light metal polish. Now what this is a chemical cleaner. It doesn't have any abrasives in there, and this helps to knock down oxidation, stains. It can be water spots, it can be brake dust, road grime, and also this light rust that builds up in here. Shake up the product. I'm going to use a clean towel. I'm using green today because we've designated for exterior purposes, but normally when you're working on chrome you want to use a gray towel. But for today we'll be fine using the green towel. Start with just a small dot. And we can start on the top here. I'll start down here where you guys can see it, and I'll do the whole wheel. Just work it back and forth. And this gently lifts off any of the staining. It's also reviving some of that shine. Helps to bring back that mirror gloss. But like I said, I've had this car for nearly 10 years, and these wheels have been on there for almost as long. And for the most part, I've kept up on them with waxing, but today I want to put on an extra layer of protection so I don't need to come back and wax it as often, which is why we're going to be putting on Hydro Slick, which if you're new to the channel or new to the product, that's a hyper wax that gives you a long-lasting shine, but also a durable layer of protection for up to a year. Super easy to apply. It's just like a wax or a sealant. You apply it by hand, let it cure for literally moments, and then come back with a clean microfiber towel and buff it off. So now we're going to work our way around the rest of the wheel, show you how it takes off these little rust spots. If you have really aggressive water spots or really tough stains, you probably have to use something like heavy metal polish, which has a micro abrasive. This way you can get that best finish. You can also use something like a ball buster or a microfiber applicator or a microfiber pad to really polish it off with a machine. But I've been doing a lot of things by hand here. I've worked on this car by hand, so it's not really a big deal. So now I've just finished polishing off the rim using some light metal polish, and as you see, it's taking care of the oxidation, any of the light little rust that it had on there, as well as the staining. And it's brought back this mirror gloss. And now, like I mentioned, we're going to go on to our final step, which is going to be protecting it using Hydro Slick. Now this is one of our newer products that adds a durable layer of protection as well as enhance the gloss, but it's also giving it hydrophobic properties which help make it easier to wash as well as dry. But also it's going to make it really difficult for water spots to dry on the surface, which is a big problem that I have on these wheels, so that's why we're going to use it. Start by shaking up the bottle, and since we're only doing this wheel right now, we're just going to use a couple small dots because it spreads very thin. Same thing like you're doing with any kind of wax, just a couple little dots. And then you want to start by dabbing it out. And then you're going to work it into the surface, covering the entire panel or the entire wheel, whatever you're working on. And this spreads very thin, so there's no need to put a heavy coat on. But if you want more protection, you can always come back with a second coat after you buffed off your initial coat. What's great about HydroSlick is, one, it's super easy to use, but two, it starts curing almost immediately, so there's no time to let it sit there for 5, 10, 15 minutes. This spawns literally in moments, so that's probably enough time for it to start curing there. You want to take your very fresh, clean microfiber towel and buff off any of the excess. There's no need to wait for it to haze or anything like that. Just take a clean towel, which again, we're using a green workhorse towel because they're very plush. They pick up anything that's on the surface, whether it's a glaze, sealant, wax, or a ceramic coating or a polish, even a quick detail spray. It works for all applications. But using any kind of ceramic coating, you're going to have to dedicate one towel because now this is going to be sacrificed because the coating is going to harden on the fibers and you're not going to use it on your paint or even on your interior. It's just best to throw it away. And now that we've given it time to cure, we'll just fold it up into 4. Very plush towel. Just wipe away any of the excess, any of the spent product. And already the surface feels very slick, very smooth, which is again going to make it very difficult for brake dust to cling to it or any kind of water spots or any kind of new staining. And it's also repelling those harmful UV rays that damage the finish. And this is going to work on any kind of wheel finish as long as it's glossy, so you can use it on your OEM wheels, you can use it on painted wheels, chrome polished, or basically any kind that's not matte. And it's going to give you that same hydrophobic property as well as enhance that gloss. So guys, I know this is a really short video, but this is just a quick tip on how to keep your wheels looking as best as possible. Tune in Wednesday for the continuation where we're going to show you how to make your dressings last on your tires as well as your trim. And if you guys liked today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, drop your comments down below for future videos. And if you want to know more about any of these products, check them out on our website, chemicalguys.com. We'll see you next time.